The Journeyman Project 2, Buried in Time, takes place almost immediately after the events of the first game. With Dr. Elliot Sinclair apprehended and the human race now admitted into the symbiotry of peaceful beings, everything is looking up. However, Gage soon receives an unexpected visitor who appears in his living room, himself from the future. He tells Gage that 10 years in the future he has been framed for a crime he did not commit, and has come back in time to get help from himself. Gage then gives his suit to Gage, and jumps to Gage's home in the future, while Gage is captured and put in jail by Agent 8. Gage learns from a message within an action figure of himself that many things have changed within the Temporal Security Agency. Gage now works with the Deep Time Unit, researching history using the jumpsuit, a time travel device individually programmed to each agent by DNA recognition. 4 dates in history matching the 4 locations Gage was working in for research purposes were apparently altered slightly, but not enough to cause a temporal rip. Now convicted of the crime of historical sabotage, Gage was put on house arrest awaiting trial, with evidence including computer records placing him at the locations, as well as contraband including valuable trinkets in his locker. It is up to Gage to help clear his own name, being able to use the jumpsuit as he shares the same DNA, and to go to each of the 4 locations to gather evidence to build a counter case. Gage's actions have set in motion many delicate discussions that also take place parallel to his trial. Due to his actions to apprehend Sinclair, the existence of the TSA and also time travel technology became public knowledge. Due to Gage's case, discussions about what to do with the technology became important topics, not just for Earth, but for the symbiotry as well. 3 appeals divide the discussion, preventing a decision being made. There are races who support the appeal for sharing time travel throughout the symbiotry, seeing it as an invaluable technology for understanding history. Others support that humans should remain the sovereign power of time travel, burying the possibility of discovering their past, and leaving the security of history in mankind's hands, trusting humans' ability to manage it. The third position supports the absolute destruction of time travel technology, as it is perceived as a threat to all races of the symbiotry, and that humanity is not prepared for control of such a powerful technology, given Gage's case and also Sinclair. When exploring the 4 locations, Gage explores the remnants of Kenneth Barnstein's lab, a master artist and computer scientist creating soft web and wetware technologies, including polymorphing neural matter. Gage comes across the ship's neurocomputer, or non-organic sentient being, Arthur, recently thought to be the actual creator of Barnstein's artwork. Although Arthur was also supposed to perish with the station, he comes up with a loophole by copying himself onto a blank biochip, leaving his original self to die as history intended, but also with the ability to come along with Gage in order to find out who this mysterious saboteur is, who also tampered with his own sculptures. Throughout exploring the locations, Gage and Arthur come across many important clues to clear Gage's name, as well as coming close to catching the culprit on several occasions. All of the evidence Gage and Arthur collected was inconsistent with the time period, and the major evidence is found within incredibly important historical artifacts, including Arthur's very own sculptures, which contained electronic schematics, Richard the Lionheart's lost sword, which contained a mathematically perfect diamond, Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Atlanticus, containing mathematical formulae, and a Mayan puzzle box, which contained an Environ cartridge. With the cartridge in hand, Gage returns to the present to view what is on it, and finds instructions for how to build the time machine, using each of the major pieces found in each of the time zones. However, Agent 3, Michelle Vizard, who is also narrating the instructions, appears and captures Gage. Captured and restrained within an undisclosed missile silo, Michelle explains to you that humankind is not ready to possess and control time travel, and she bases this on her own research missions, examining World War II, the concentration camps, and the American Civil War, events no longer recognized by the human population. She plans to share the technology with any race of the Symbiotry that wants it, and has been in contact with someone who will make sure that happens. She was able to do this by putting the information within each artifact, which coincidentally was being auctioned off at the Louvre. This allowed for actions to go unnoticed. Unfortunately, because Gage had to go wondering about the state of the security grid, which was tampered because of Michelle's unscheduled jumps into the time periods to place the information, the evidence pointed back to Gage, making him Michelle's scapegoat. However, Michelle did not mean for Gage to be in the situation that he's currently in, and states that if she was able to take responsibility for her actions, she would have, but neglects to mention her motivations behind secretly spreading the technology in the first place. In order to make sure Gage does not stop her plans, she begins to initiate a mind wipe, erasing his memory. Arthur, however, steps in and creates a virus in order to stop her in a final desperation move. Upon infiltrating Michelle's security, Arthur initiates the virus, however, states that he is the virus, therefore leaving Gage as Arthur transfers to Michelle's jumpsuit, and they both involuntarily get sent into the time stream to an unknown location, leaving Gage behind in the missile silo. Upon freeing himself, Gage discovers who Michelle's contact is, and it turns out that it is the Kryn ambassador Icarus. The Kryn's position in the handling of time travel originally was in favor of humanity keeping autonomy over the technology. However, they recently and violently changed their position to the appeal for dismantling and destroying the technology, stating that humanity is too naive and has no right to keep such a hazardous technology. With these conflicting positions, Michelle has unknowingly given the Kryn the technology, which they have no intention of sharing, meaning that if all time travel technology was destroyed, they would be the sole owners through this secret exchange, and be able to dominate the other races of the Symbiotry by changing their pasts to become more powerful. Gage goes to the Kryn ship, where the artifacts are being held, and stealthily retrieves them. However, is cornered by Icarus before he can leave. Blasting Icarus into the inorganic transporter, Icarus flees, allowing Gage to escape and for the evidence to be presented in court. Gage is found innocent on all accounts, is released, and pursuits for Michelle Agent 3 begin, but are unsuccessful. The Kryn, because of Icarus's actions, are expelled from the Symbiotry, and are put under close scrutiny. Gage receives another Paragon Medal for valorous service because of his findings, but unfortunately must also be mind-wiped and returned to the past in order to prevent a temporal rip, because we can't have two Gages wandering around in the same time period. When all is said and done, the search for Agent 3 continues, and 2 months have passed, and things begin to look grim.